the incredible scene that made the world think it was fake. Take a close look at this astonishing scene. A gigantic concrete wall, as tall as a 16-story building, rises almost vertically with an incline of nearly 80 degrees. No stairs, no railings, no safety ropes. In fact, for a human, simply standing near the edge would be enough to make your legs tremble. And yet, dozens of mountain goats calmly walk across its surface. They don't run. They don't cling desperately to the wall. They don't seem frightened in the slightest. Every step is slow, deliberate, and unbelievably precise, as if they were strolling across a peaceful meadow instead of a near-vertical wall. Some stop to rest, some lower their heads. Others stand effortlessly on tiny ledges, barely wide enough to fit a single hoof. One wrong step, and they would plunge hundreds of meters to the ground below. Yet that possibility never seems to cross their minds. When videos of these animals first appeared online, millions of people reached the same conclusion. This has to be AI. There's no way this is real. The footage has obviously been edited, because the human brain struggles to accept that any animal could move so confidently across a surface that appears impossible to walk on. But every frame is completely real. No CGG, no visual effects, no tricks, no trained animals. This is Cingino Dam, located high in the Italian Alps. It's a hydroelectric dam famous, not because of its engineering, but because of its extraordinary visitors. For decades, herds of mountain goats have returned here year after year. No one brings them here. No one feeds them. No one trains them. Every season, they quietly arrive, climbing a wall so steep that even experienced climbers would think twice before attempting it. Then they spend hours standing there, perfectly calm, perfectly balanced. Workers at the dam have become accustomed to the sight. But for tourists seeing it for the very first time, the reaction is almost always the same. They freeze. They stare upward in disbelief, then instinctively pull out their phones, afraid the unbelievable scene might disappear before their eyes, because everything about it seems to contradict the laws of gravity. Standing at the bottom of the dam, one question immediately comes to mind. What could possibly be valuable enough to make an entire herd risk their lives climbing a giant concrete wall? There are no green meadows, no trees, no flowing streams, nothing that appears worth the effort. So what exactly are they searching for? The answer reveals a fascinating truth. Nature often follows rules that humans simply fail to notice. The secret hidden in the concrete wall. At first glance, the massive wall of Cingino Dam looks completely lifeless. No flowers, no grass, no insects. Nothing that suggests it could support any form of life. If these were deer, they would never climb it. If they were wild cattle, they would simply walk away. Even animals famous for navigating steep mountains rarely venture onto a bare concrete wall with no visible food. So why are mountain goats different? At first, scientists believed the answer was simple. Perhaps the goats climbed the dam to escape predators. It sounded reasonable. Hundreds of meters above the valley floor, wolves, lynxes, and even snow leopards would struggle to follow them. But that theory quickly fell apart, because every time the goats arrived, they all did the exact same thing. They lowered their heads. They moved slowly across the wall. And then they began licking the concrete, not once, not twice, but over and over again for several minutes. It was this strange behavior that finally led researchers to the real answer. The goats weren't searching for grass. They were searching for salt. For herbivores, salt and minerals are every bit as important as food itself. Their bodies constantly need sodium, calcium, magnesium, and other essential minerals to keep their muscles, nerves, and metabolism functioning properly. Yet high mountain environments contain surprisingly little of these nutrients. The vegetation provides very little sodium. Natural water sources cannot replace everything the animals lose each day. During summer, when mountain goats are most active and consume large amounts of fresh vegetation, their demand for minerals increases even more. Their instincts lead them to one of the richest mineral sources available. Quite by accident, Cingino Dam became one of those places. Over many years, rainwater slowly seeped into the concrete, dissolving tiny amounts of minerals hidden inside. As the water evaporated, thin layers of salt and other mineral deposits remained on the surface. To us, they're nothing more than faint white stains, but to a mountain goat's incredibly sensitive sense of smell and taste, they're a natural mineral buffet. If you watch the footage carefully, you'll notice something fascinating. The goats rarely rush. They move slowly. Every few steps, they stop, lower their heads, and gently lick the concrete for several moments. They didn't climb the dam to prove how fearless they are. They aren't trying to challenge gravity. They aren't showing off their climbing skills. They're simply feeding. More specifically, they're replenishing vital minerals that their harsh mountain environment cannot provide in sufficient amounts. And Singino Dam isn't unique. In Canada, mountain goats spend hours licking mineral-rich rocks near natural salt springs. In the Himalayas, wild goats and ibex follow ancient routes leading to hidden mineral deposits high in the mountains. Young goats simply follow the adults, year after year, generation after generation. Some of these paths existed long before humans ever set foot in those mountains. But even after discovering why they climbed the dam, one mystery still remained. How can an animal weighing nearly 100 kilograms stand effortlessly on a surface that appears almost completely vertical? The answer is hidden beneath their feet. The feet that seem to defeat gravity. From a distance, it almost looks as if mountain goats possess some kind of supernatural power. But the truth is even more remarkable. The secret behind their ability to conquer near-vertical cliffs isn't incredible strength. It's an almost perfect design created by nature. Take a closer look at their feet. At first glance, a mountain goat's hooves don't seem very different from those of other hoofed animals. But under close examination, they reveal an extraordinary engineering masterpiece. Each hoof consists of two distinct parts. The outer rim is extremely hard enough to grip tiny ledges only a few millimeters wide. The center, however, is soft and highly flexible. It works much like the rubber sole of a climbing boot. As the hoof presses against the rock, the soft center molds itself to the surface, increasing friction and creating a much stronger grip. But that's only part of the story. Each hoof can also spread slightly apart. This allows it to wrap around small protrusions in the rock rather than simply resting on top of them. In other words, every step isn't just placed, it's locked into the terrain. That's why, where humans see nothing but a smooth concrete wall, mountain goats find dozens of secure footholds. If you watch slow-motion footage, you'll notice another fascinating detail. Before shifting their body weight forward, they always test the next foothold with a front hoof. Only after confirming that the grip is secure do they move the hind leg. Nothing about their movement is random. There are no reckless jumps, no unnecessary risks. Every step is deliberate. Every movement is calculated with astonishing precision. This also explains why mountain goats rarely lose their footing in the wild. Not because they're incapable of making mistakes, but because millions of years of evolution have eliminated individuals that couldn't survive such unforgiving terrain. The animals we see today are the result of countless generations shaped by one of nature's toughest environments. They are true masters of vertical landscapes. Yet even perfect hooves cannot explain everything, because standing on a ledge only a few centimeters wide requires far more than extraordinary feet. Their entire body functions like a machine built specifically for life on the cliffs. How nature built the perfect climbing machine. Imagine standing on a rock ledge barely half the width of your foot. Your first instinct would probably be to stretch out your arms to keep your balance. Mountain goats never have to do that. Their bodies are already perfectly designed for this environment. Their shoulders are incredibly powerful. The muscles in the front half of their bodies are far more developed than those of most grazing animals. This gives them the strength to climb over rocks nearly as tall as their own bodies. Even more important is their center of gravity. Unlike humans, a mountain goat's weight is distributed much lower. This low center of gravity allows the animal to remain remarkably stable, even when only a few hooves are touching the rock. Each leg functions almost independently. If one hoof briefly loses contact, the other three are usually enough to keep the animal perfectly balanced. That's why they rarely appear to stumble. Their joints are equally impressive. They can rotate and adjust their legs into positions that would seem impossible for a human. With every step, the hoof is carefully placed at exactly the right angle to maximize grip. But perhaps their greatest advantage lies in something most people never notice: their eyes. Mountain goats have eyes positioned on the sides of their heads. This gives them an exceptionally wide field of vision, allowing them to monitor both their surroundings and the surface beneath their feet almost simultaneously. While a human is still searching for the next safe foothold, a mountain goat has already planned its next move. What's even more astonishing is how early this ability develops. Just a few hours after birth, newborn kids begin following their mothers across steep mountain slopes. At first, Their movements appear awkward, but within only a few days, they begin hopping confidently from rock to rock. Not because they're fearless, but because survival demands that they learn quickly. In their world, one small mistake can mean death. And yet, the greatest danger mountain goats face isn't the towering cliffs beneath their feet. Their real enemies are waiting below in the valleys. The battle for survival. Predators never give up. For most animals, a vertical cliff is a deadly trap. But for mountain goats, it is the safest place they can possibly be. At first, that sounds like a contradiction. After all, one misplaced step could cost them their lives. But in the wild, danger doesn't only come from the height. It comes from the predators that watch their every move. High in the snow-covered mountains of Asia, a silent figure blends almost perfectly into the gray rocks. No sound, no movement, not even a single loose stone gives it away. It is the snow leopard, one of the most elusive and deadly predators on Earth. Unlike lions or leopards, snow leopards rarely chase their prey over long distances. Instead, they wait, sometimes for hours, sometimes for half a day, patiently watching for one single opportunity. The moment a mountain goat loses focus. Once the distance is close enough, the snow leopard explodes into action. It can sprint at speeds exceeding 50 kilometers per hour. With a single leap, it is capable of covering nearly 15 meters, enough to bring down its prey within seconds. But mountain goats understand this threat better than anyone. Instead of fleeing down into the valleys, they race upward, toward the steepest cliffs they can find, because that's where even the snow leopard must be cautious. One miscalculated step, and the hunter could become another victim of the mountain. Across North America, a different predator waits, the gray wolf. Unlike the snow leopard, wolves rely on teamwork rather than stealth. They hunt in packs. They are relentless, organized, patient. Rather than attacking immediately, they pressure the herd, driving the goats across the landscape, searching for young, injured, or weaker individuals that become separated from the group. But mountain goats rarely fall into that trap. The instant danger appears, the entire herd begins climbing toward even steeper terrain, ground where wolves simply cannot maintain their speed or coordination. More often than not, the hunt ends before it truly begins. In parts of Europe, the Eurasian lynx is another dangerous predator. Not as fast as a leopard, not as powerful as a wolf pack, but exceptionally quiet. Using darkness, rocky terrain, and extraordinary patience, it attempts to approach its prey unnoticed. Even so, the lynx seldom dares to follow mountain goats onto nearly vertical cliffs. Ironically, the landscape humans consider almost impossible to survive on has become the mountain goat's greatest fortress. Yet life on the cliffs is anything but easy. Winter transforms the mountains completely. Snow buries the rocks, ice covers every surface. Each step becomes far more dangerous. Temperatures plunge far below freezing. Food becomes increasingly scarce. Powerful winds sweep endlessly across the mountain slopes. Still, the goats remain, because they know something instinctively. Leaving the cliffs often means entering the territory where predators hold every advantage. In nature, the safest place isn't always the easiest one. Perhaps the most fascinating fact of all, mountain goats aren't the only masters of impossible terrain. Across the world, nature has created many extraordinary climbers. Each has evolved its own remarkable survival strategy, and every one of them reveals just how ingenious evolution can truly be. The battle for survival. Predators never give up. For most animals, a vertical cliff is a deadly trap, but for mountain goats, it is the safest place they can possibly be. At first, that sounds like a contradiction. After all, one misplaced step could cost them their lives. But in the wild, danger doesn't only come from the height. It comes from the predators that watch their every move. High in the snow-covered mountains of Asia, a silent figure blends almost perfectly into the gray rocks. No sound, no movement, not even a single loose stone gives it away. It is the snow leopard, one of the most elusive and deadly predators on Earth. Unlike lions or leopards, snow leopards rarely chase their prey over long distances. Instead, they wait, sometimes for hours, sometimes for half a day, patiently watching for one single opportunity. The moment a mountain goat loses focus. Once the distance is close enough, the snow leopard explodes into action. It can sprint at speeds exceeding 50 kilometers per hour. With a single leap, it is capable of covering nearly 15 meters. enough to bring down its prey within seconds. But mountain goats understand this threat better than anyone. Instead of fleeing down into the valleys, they race upward, toward the steepest cliffs they can find, because that's where even the snow leopard must be cautious. One miscalculated step, and the hunter could become another victim of the mountain. Across North America, a different predator waits: the gray wolf. Unlike the snow leopard, wolves rely on teamwork rather than stealth. They hunt in packs. They are relentless, organized, patient. Rather than attacking immediately, they pressure the herd, driving the goats across the landscape, searching for young, injured, or weaker individuals that become separated from the group. But mountain goats rarely fall into that trap. The instant danger appears, the entire herd begins climbing toward even steeper terrain, ground where wolves simply cannot maintain their speed or coordination. More often than not, the hunt ends before it truly begins. In parts of Europe, the Eurasian lynx is another dangerous predator. Not as fast as a leopard, not as powerful as a wolf pack, but exceptionally quiet. Using darkness, rocky terrain, and extraordinary patience, it attempts to approach its prey unnoticed. Even so, the lynx seldom dares to follow mountain goats onto nearly vertical cliffs. Ironically, the landscape humans consider almost impossible to survive on has become the mountain goat's greatest fortress. Yet life on the cliffs is anything but easy. Winter transforms the mountains completely. Snow buries the rocks. Ice covers every surface. Each step becomes far more dangerous. Temperatures plunge far below freezing. Food becomes increasingly scarce. Powerful winds sweep endlessly across the mountain slopes. Still, the goats remain, because they know something instinctively. Leaving the cliffs often means entering the territory where predators hold every advantage. In nature, the safest place isn't always the easiest one. Perhaps the most fascinating fact of all, mountain goats aren't the only masters of impossible terrain. Across the world, nature has created many extraordinary climbers. Each has evolved its own remarkable survival strategy, and every one of them reveals just how ingenious evolution can truly be. When humans learned from mountain goats, for thousands of years, humans have looked to nature for inspiration. The invention of the airplane was inspired by birds. Submarines borrowed ideas from whales and fish. Today, engineers are studying mountain goats. In research laboratories around the world, scientists are developing four-legged robots capable of crossing terrain that wheeled vehicles could never navigate. Collapsed buildings, rock slides, earthquake zones, steep mountain trails, even the rugged landscapes of future planetary exploration. Their goal isn't to build a robotic goat. What they truly want to replicate is nature's solution. How does an animal maintain perfect balance on a surface that appears almost vertical? How can each leg instantly adapt to constantly changing terrain? How does the body remain stable even if one foot briefly loses its grip? Questions like these have inspired entirely new generations of robotic systems. Modern quadruped robots can analyze terrain in real time, adjust every step independently, recover their balance after unexpected impacts, and continue moving without falling. Remarkably, mountain goats mastered these abilities millions of years ago, without sensors, without computers, without artificial intelligence, simply through evolution. Scientists call this approach biomimicry. Rather than inventing every solution from scratch, we study the designs that nature has already tested, refined, and perfected over millions of years. Perhaps the greatest lesson mountain goats teach us isn't how to climb impossible cliffs. It's how to adapt. They never changed the mountains. They never made the cliffs easier to climb. They never tried to conquer nature. Instead, they changed themselves to fit the world around them. That simple strategy has allowed them to survive through millions of years of environmental change. And perhaps that's the most remarkable achievement of all. So after everything we've discovered, one final question remains. Are we truly admiring the extraordinary abilities of mountain goats? Or are we witnessing one of nature's greatest masterpieces? A masterpiece that existed long before humans ever walked the earth? Mountain goats don't defy gravity. They simply live in perfect harmony with nature. When most people first see mountain goats walking across the nearly vertical wall of Singino Dam, they all come to the same conclusion. These animals are defying gravity. They're doing the impossible. But once you understand the full story, you realize that isn't true at all. Mountain goats have never tried to conquer nature, nor are they attempting to prove they're stronger than gravity. They're simply doing what their ancestors have done for millions of years. To them, a vertical cliff isn't an obstacle, it's home. A concrete wall covered with mineral deposits isn't something strange. It's simply a valuable source of essential nutrients. Where humans see danger, mountain goats see an opportunity to survive. Perhaps the most extraordinary thing isn't their incredible climbing ability. It's the fact that nature has spent millions of years shaping a creature almost perfectly adapted to its environment. Every hoof, every muscle, every joint, every instinct is the result of countless generations of natural selection. Nothing about their design is accidental. No remarkable ability appeared overnight. Everything was earned through time, through adaptation, through an endless struggle for survival spanning millions of years of evolution. What's even more fascinating is that the more humans study nature, the more we realize that we didn't invent many of our greatest ideas, from airplanes to submarines to four-legged robots. Many of our most advanced technologies were inspired by the natural world. Nature is more than something beautiful to explore. It is an immense library, filled with solutions that humanity is still learning to understand. Perhaps the greatest lesson mountain goats teach us isn't how to climb impossible cliffs. It's how to adapt. They never asked the mountains to become easier. They never tried to reshape their environment. Instead, they transformed themselves to fit the world around them. That is the same principle that has allowed life to survive on Earth for billions of years. In nature, it isn't always the strongest species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the species that adapts best to change. And mountain goats are living proof of that timeless rule. So the next time you watch a video of mountain goats calmly walking across what seems like an impossible cliff, don't assume it's fake. Don't believe they're defying gravity, because behind every careful step lies millions of years of evolution, the extraordinary precision of nature's design, and a story that humanity is only beginning to understand. Perhaps the greatest miracle isn't that mountain goats can climb places that seem impossible. It's that nature created a creature for which the impossible simply became ordinary. If you enjoy discovering the wonders of nature, incredible wildlife, and the hidden mysteries of our planet, be sure to subscribe to Nature Mysteries and join us on our next adventure, because out there, countless mysteries are still waiting to be discovered.